I'm Carol Roy. Welcome to VSM TV. Today we are meeting with Eric Pitcher, the Vice President of Technology Strategy in the Recovery Management Business Unit at CA. How are you, Eric?
Doing well, doing well.
Eric, why don't you start out by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role at CA, as I know you've held more than one.
Okay, well, currently my role is to set not only the technology strategy, but some of the vision for our technology components and the recovery management. So that includes everything from backup and recovery to replication to application high availability. Prior to my current role, I ran product management, which means I defined the day-to-day features of the products. And then prior to that, I ran our development team that was in the field. So to make sure that the products met the unusual customer requests. So it wasn't standard out-of-box stuff. If the customer had a requirement, we'd send in our special guys to write a little bit of code or meet the needs of that typical environment.
Now, what is CA's relationship with Citrix? And of course I ask this because we're here at the Citrix Synergy event. You're wearing a Citrix partner button.
Very proud.
So tell me, what is the relationship there?
So the relationship's brand new. We just got together about 2 weeks ago. So things have been moving very quickly. But in general, CA sees Citrix as a very strategic partner in terms of, if our whole goal is to do disaster recovery and business continuity, how does virtualization play into that role? And we see that as critical, that virtualization actually brings disaster recovery and business continuity features that only the enterprises typically had, now down to the mid-market. So with a combination of Citrix and CA, we can have enterprise-level disaster recovery capabilities. Now for the mid-market, that's affordable. That's the key features.
Now, how will CA be supporting the Citrix initiatives that are being announced at the event this week? You touched on that a little bit,
right.
But let's go into a little bit deeper.
So if you look at it a little bit closer, with a combination of backup and restore, everybody knows backup and restore. I mean, it's been around forever, right? But there are key features that people don't, typically aren't familiar with. They understand the backup, they understand the restore part. But when it comes to disaster recovery, in terms of, if a server fails, how do I get it back very quickly? In terms of bare metal disaster recovery, or even bringing up the applications that were typically on a physical environment into a virtual environment. So understanding the physical environment and how to migrate to a virtual environment is some of the areas that we specialize in. Then moving forward, if you have, as I said before, very critical business needs, so some of your business processes may need to have, let's say, an SLA, service level agreement, of a few moments or a few minutes. Backup and recovery might not be the right thing. That will take maybe an hour or two or up to a day, depending upon if you got the equipment ready and you have the people there. But what if I have to have that critical business app up and running at all the time? So what can we do for you there? And that's where our Exosoft product line comes in, working with virtualization. So not only can we make sure that that physical server is always up and running and the services that it provides always up and running, but if it fails, a virtual instance can pop up immediately and stand in its place. So the end users, whether it's internal users or external users, don't know any difference. And it gives time for the IT department to address the problem. So it's pretty neat. As well as having a combination gives us the ability for customers to migrate to virtualization at their own speed. I think virtualization is more of a, why is it not growing as fast? It's growing very, very fast, but why is it not growing faster? And I think the key area is people just don't have the time to understand new technology, new processes coming into their environment. So how can I implement those new technologies and new processes slowly? And that's where we have the ability to do that. We can have the physical environment up and running, and then we can move their disaster recovery plans over to a virtual environment. And if there's a problem, they automatically fail over to a virtual environment. But as they get more used to virtual, when they start to understand the expectations, they understand the differences in processes, now they can start moving that experience into the production environment.
Now, what are you seeing as the biggest barrier to symbiosis between virtual infrastructures and recovery management?
I think I touched on it a lot there before. It's understanding how virtualization changes the processes and the environment when it comes to putting virtualization into your IT environment. IT guys are notoriously conservative, especially as the larger the company gets. So understanding what that impact is and getting experience with it is the key area. So that's where the combination of Citrix and CA comes into being. Not only do we lower the cost of disaster recovery and business continuity, but we give customers experience in it because they can have their DR environment, that's virtualized, and then again they get experience in it and they can move that into a production environment. But at the same time, where Citrix really comes in is it really reduces the cost of disaster recovery environment. I mean, what's the number one barrier to entry into having disaster recovery? Is the cost associated, the people, the extra infrastructure, all the hardware you got to buy to keep it up and running. Well, now if I can virtualize my DR environment, my costs immediately come down quite a bit. And then where what CA can help in is migrate and manage seamlessly between the physical and virtual environment.
Now, for those of our viewers who are actually here in Las Vegas at Citrix Synergy 2009, what will they find at the CA booth? Besides you evangelizing.
Besides my shiny face?
That's right.
So there's something that we've started what was called the backup wake-up call. And it's a combination of not just product. I mean, product's nice, but actually solving real customer problems. So we just released what was called the R12.5 release of our products. With our R12.5 release of our products, you know, being the best at virtualization backup is good, but it doesn't actually solve a major customer problems. Yes, everybody can back up a virtualized environment. That's say the be. But what we added into our products was we added more features that are not typically in backup or replication products to help customers understand what the impact of the environment is. So with our new ArcServe product line, we added in storage resource management, typically a separate product you'd buy in the industry. And really mid-markets always have a problem with storage resource management. It's always a nice to have, but the information it gives to you is so powerful. It's like, well, how can I manage something I can't see or understand? So I know, all the CPU utilization, all the files, how they're living and breathing, and all that wonderful stuff built into the backup product to help you do a better job of doing disaster recovery and business continuity. And we added in many other features that you typically buy separately. So virtual tape library capabilities, you don't have to buy a separate virtual tape library. Data deduplication is again built into the product. We don't charge anything extra for it. And then we combine the ArcServe, the SRM, the VTL, the data dedupe, along with the replication capability of our Exasoft product line into one package. And we're giving up to 70% off when you buy them together. And then we combine it with Citrix, and you now can have a really good disaster recovery plan at a really cost-effective price. And the neat thing about that is not only can you have a cost-effective disaster recovery plan, because the individual components integrate in with each other, now we can do a much better job of understanding what the impact is. So with the Exasoft technology, I can discover all the virtual machines out there, so I know what's running where. Now, if that's being replicated to the second site, why do I have to back up the production site? Well, I don't have to anymore. I can tell ArcServe to back up the replica site as if it was a primary site, yet still have the ability to do bare metal right back to the original site. So you get some of the advantages of the combined solution, as well as centralizing data to one individual location.
For those folks that are not here in Las Vegas with us, where's the best place that they can get all of this information?
So we're going to be rolling out soon the combined Citrix CA solution. What you can find right now, we have something called a virtual trade show going on. Matter of fact, it's combining Citrix and CA together. If you go to www.ca.com/showcase, SHOWCASE, you can sign up for the virtual trade show. It's free. And when you come into that, you'll actually see all the different booths talking about the new ArcServe products and the new Exasoft products in this backup wake-up program, as well as you see the Citrix booth. And you can go in and talk to people. You can see very short presentations. We understand it's the web. We don't want to spend an hour on the web talking to somebody. So it's very short, 10-minute, 15-minute presentations. Gets to the point. People can get the data and get out when they want to. Plus, you get all the collateral and requests for additional information.
Eric, thank you so much for joining us today. Enjoy your week in Las Vegas.
Thank you.